Hello again. Tony here with some more phonetics. I hope you got up to speed with our last lesson, as this one's going to get a little more complicated. Today we're going to take a look at digraphs. A digraph is a combination of letters which makes a new sound. Unlike a diphthong, which always has at least one vowel in it, a digraph can be made up of only consonants. Right, so first, what is a digraph? As I just said, it's a combination of two letters which makes a new sound. What I mean by that is that the letters aren't pronounced individually like they would be in a blend. For example, if we wrote S-C-R, we know the individual sounds are sk-r. When you pronounce this, skr, you can pretty much work it out just by looking at the individual letters and blending them together, which is why it's called a blend. Another blend, which is very convenient for me, is bull and nd. So, you know, bull or bull, then nd, bull, nd. If we put an E in there, blend. Okay, that's an easy way to remember the difference between a blend and a digraph. First, let's look at some consonant-only digraphs. So almost all of these have only one pronunciation. But as with our individual letters, some of them have more than one, which can be pretty confusing. First, let's look at the ones that only have one, like last time. So the ones with only one pronunciation, we've got CK, which just makes a strong k sound. So it's not like k, just k. Then KN, the K's always silent, so it becomes n. NG, you have to kind of close the back of your throat and, I don't know, just use your voice to go For PH, generally the only sound is like F, but in the name Stephen it sounds like a V, it's voiced. SH makes a sh sound. TCH is not tikah, it's ch, which is also the sound of CH, but this denotes that it's always ch. WH is technically hua, like it should be reversed, HW, then hua. But people generally don't pronounce it correctly. They just say w, as in what, where, when, why. And here we have WR, which is r. The W becomes silent, and we just pronounce the R. And I've just realized that WH also has one more. When we say who, it kind of sounds like just the H by itself. For CH, we have three sounds. We have ch, k, sh, which is basically like TCH, K, and SH. Ch, k, sh. So we now know CH. Next is GH. This is kind of confusing too. It also has three sounds. Well, technically two sounds and one silence. So sometimes it's silent, as in the word 8. Here, we don't pronounce the GH. It's not agahut, just 8. Next sound. It can also sound like, don't ask me why, but it can make an F sound, as in rough or cough or tough. Here it becomes F. And the third sound is just the hard G sound, which is G, as in ghost or ghastly, or things like that. It generally depends, or you can generally tell from where it is in the word. If it's at the beginning, it sounds like a g. If it's at the end, it sounds like f. If it's in the middle, it's generally silent. Although one exception to this rule is that in the word through or thorough, it's again silent, even though it's at the end. So now we know GH. Okay, the last one is TH, and this one's fairly easy. There's just two sounds we need to really focus on, and that's th and th. For the soft TH sound, with is one example. And for the strong TH sound, or the hard TH sound, the voiced TH sound, we have something like bathe, which thanks to our E modifier there becomes bathe. Okay, so those are our TH sounds. There's just two. There are in fact more consonant digraphs, but they aren't as common as the ones I just mentioned. Let's have a look at them now. So again, most of these have just one sound as well. In fact, all except this one have just one sound. So for double D, we have just a D sound. So it just sounds like one D. So for example, add, add. So it's not added it, just add. So just one sound. I'll just put red under the ones that have one sound. For DG we have J. It always makes the soft G sound, as in gem or gel. This time is generally towards the end of a word, as in badge, or similar words like that, budge, fudge. So again, that has just one sound. For F, in fact, you might notice there's a lot of double letters here, like F, F, G, G, N, N, P, P, T, T. All they really do is shorten a vowel sound. Okay, so we know they're only going to have one sound. There we go. For GM, the G becomes silent, like GN as well. Both of these, it's kind of a redundant G, it doesn't make a sound. This is very, very rare. It only really appears in words like paradigm, which is quite tough. Paradigm. Ask a native speaker how to spell that, they'll probably screw it up. Paradigm. So we know GM just has the one sound. GN features in quite a few words like sign and sign. Sign. Again, it's at the end. G is silent, so it just sounds like sign. In this case, or in both of these cases, it kind of makes the vowel a long sound. So another one was just one sound. With MB, we have not many words. There's comb. In this case, the B is silent. It just becomes comb. And again, like these ones, it turns the vowel into a long sound. So rather than comb, it's comb. Another one with one sound. With MN, this is quite tricky. Usually it's just M, but sometimes it's M. I guess it's fairly easy because both sounds are just, it's either M or M. As in hymn, like the religious songs, hymn, just becomes M, hymn. for the N sound, we have words like mnemonic. Sorry. Mnemonic. So it's not mnemonic, just mnemonic. I don't have any mnemonics to help you remember that, but hopefully it's easy enough. PT, in words like apt, you actually do pronounce both, so it's more like a blend. In some cases, though, it becomes just a T sound. The P becomes silent, as in the dinosaur pteranodon or pterodactyl. I always preferred pteranodon though. So we drop the P, pteranodon. So technically just one sound. And RH, the H becomes silent, so we just pronounce the R. I don't know why I rubbed that off. Just R as in rhythm, rheumatoid, things like that. Anyway, let's move on. Now we know what a digraph is. Just before we finish, we're going to look at one of the questions from the center examination. So just allow me to magically write it up on the board. So anyway, we have 4 words here, and we're focusing on the TH digraph. This is from the, this is from the 2010 exam. So this is the English section of the center examination 2010. The words we're looking at, there's 4 of them, all have TH on the end. One of them sounds different, so we need to find which one is the odd one out. Now, I'll give you a few seconds just to read them and work it out yourself, hopefully. Did you get the answer? If not, let's go over them together now. First one is breath. Okay, breath. 2, faith. Faith. 3, length. Length. 4, smooth. Smooth. Let's go in quick succession. We have breath, faith, length, smooth. Could you get the answer? There's just one voiced one, and that's number 4, smooth. The others, breath, faith, length. They just come from here, they don't come from here. Smooth, smooth. I guess one way you can remember it is, my Japanese is gone, smooth. Because it's got the 10-10, z, smooth. Length, face, breath. If you think about the Japanese, it will help you remember how to pronounce the English. Right, so to make the TH sound, you kind of need to stick your tongue between your teeth. And what we do is we stick our tongue between our teeth and then we force air through the top of our teeth, through the top row of teeth. I realize I look kind of funny when I do that, and if you just think of it as your tongue is like a road and the air is only allowed to travel along that road through your teeth. I have a good phrase to help you remember how to make the TH sound, or help you practice it anyway. It's a phrase I use quite often in my everyday language, which is, what's with that? So here we have the unvoiced and here we have the voiced. So let's just mark this here, unvoiced and voiced. When you say this, really focus on the shape of your mouth while you're pronouncing with and that. Especially this little space here, it doesn't need to exist. You can kind of push these together. What's with that? With that. With that. What's with that? Okay, and you'll be talking like a homie in no time. Anyway, that brings us to the end of today's lesson. Join me next time and we're going to journey to the ridiculous world of diphthongs where chaos reigns supreme. Diphthongs are digraphs. It's not here anymore. Digraphs which include vowels as well. Sometimes just vowels, sometimes vowels and consonants. The former is much harder than the latter, but never mind. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you next time.